What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. So today, PKA has just come out. I've already done a couple runs just to get a bit of a feel for it. Of course, the first run of PKA is not really that exciting because you don't really get to see much because of the way that the board is kind of structured. We did another run just to kind of tweak the team a little bit. So I have a team that is just clearing the first few levels of PKA, and I want to bring more like live content like this where I am explaining my thoughts and decisions about the team as we actually play through it. We'll do it as we progress through this PKA this time because this PKA is slightly different. If we actually go over to the news board, it did mention a slight change to the actual structure of the event. It does mention that the actual missions are slightly different. You can see here where clear the quest battles within PKA to get boosters of Hime turtles, rainbow turtles, and daimyo turtles. New requests that is based on the number of rainbow Hime turtles are now added. Additionally, from level 150, the chance to obtain Hime turtles has increased. So this is interesting because these limited time quests to get these Hime turtles, it means you actually want to get to level 150 as fast as possible. So this is an interesting way for Bandai to try and get people to, instead of just, you know, going to really early levels like sticking at level 80 or level 60 and consistently farming it till you get all your turtles and then go to 150. That's going to kind of shift the meta a little bit. Maybe for some people, maybe not for others, but I'm going to try this PKA just to see how it kind of goes. I don't think it's going to be that great. We'll see how things go, right? So let's just jump into it and let's see what kind of things we get. So because I want to try and reach 150 as fast as possible this time, we actually want to see Zora as much as we possibly can. The issue is, though, is I have basically received none of the sake bottles to actually level up his stuff, so that kind of sucks. So I think we're going to go up top to just land on Zora, potentially pick up some additional sake bottles that we can potentially use for us. I think that's probably going to be what we do here. Hopefully we can get some sake bottles. We do. That's nice. We do need some level up for Zoro as well. And we'll go ahead and have a look at the Blackbeard boss because I do want to get some turtles either way you look at it. So for these mini bosses, some people ask about this. I keep the mini bosses at relatively low levels just so I can auto through them as fast as possible. Yes, you can increase the levels of these guys as well, which will enable you to get even more points for your, or even more turtles for the rewards and stuff, but it just feels way easier to keep them at low levels and to just auto through them. That's basically what I do. I usually just auto through them with the highest like point maximum team that I can possibly build, and that's just kind of how I do it. It's not the best team out there, but I can just usually run it on auto, and it's not really that big of a deal because even if you don't kill an enemy in one turn, they're not going to like insta kill you, so it's usually not that big of a deal. And if you have some really powerful supports, it's going to enable you to get through these slightly quicker. Like if the enemy, you know, inflicts paralysis on you, if you have a paralysis support, it just allows you to get through the content slightly quicker. So anyways, I'm going to speed through just these boss fights, these mini boss fights, because they're not really that important, and we'll pick things up as we progress a little bit further into the event. Alright, so the Blackbeard boss has been taken down. Not really a big issue there at all. It was pretty easy, actually. And Wano Law's a really good choice as captain because he boosts so many different types of units. So, you know, just using him as a captain this time around for these easy boss fights is super good. And we see pick up some co-op medals, which is actually kind of nice. We take those. Okay, so Blackbeard's dealt with. The other boss is not close by, so we're just going to make our way towards the end now. We'll have to see if there's anything we can actually land on. It's actually going to be worth it. I mean, at this point, a lot of people also ask about, like, these rewards too. Now, it really depends on what you're looking for. Like, if you want to pick up previously released free-to-play units, you obviously want the green tickets. If you just want the turtles, you can just pick them up. Remember, turtles from this reward system do not count for your Chopman missions. It's only the turtles that you drop in the quest itself. Or if you're looking to level up your ships, you can go with Cola. Typically, I just go for turtles because I like getting characters to 150. That's kind of an important thing for me. I think we're just gonna... We could have got that rainbow chest, but it's fine. We kind of want the favorites box as much as possible so we can get more sake bottles, so that's probably where I'm going to go. We'll go ahead and level up Zoro so we can get through these levels a bit quicker. Not going to worry about the Pirate Rumble match. We do land a sake bottle, which is good. We take those. And I guess we'll go up the top. Do we get another one? We do. That's awesome. I'm going to ignore Nami as well. I'm just going to go for the crate and hopefully get something good out of it. Not really anything great. I guess I'll just pick up Nami because it's a high-leveled statue. And we'll go ahead and tackle Arlong. So Arlong is an interesting boss fight. Of course, we're going to go level 46. So my team that I have here, it is technically able to beat level 60 and above. So between 60 and 79, this team should be quite comfortable to go ahead and get through it. It's not the perfect team for sure. There's definitely some things that I am going to change as we progress past level 60 into level 80, like territories. I am going to go ahead and change it once we get to level 80 and above. So let's go ahead and run it, and we'll go ahead and get the friend captain sorted. So this is the squad here with the friend captain. The friend captain, double Uta works. Nami will work as your friend captain. Obviously, Nami gives you the more drops, so she's like more ideal to use. Nico Robin is also an option. It just really depends on what you really want to do. So I'm opting for this, and I'll explain things as we progress a little bit because like the supports are key for the team to actually work as effective as it is. Even though, as I said, I do think this team has vast arrays of improvement, but the team will be able to beat level 60 and up until 79. So that's a good start. And as I said, as things progress, as the days progress, we're going to go ahead and alter the team, get things a little bit going, shift some characters around just to ensure that we're able to clear this, because I want to get to 150. So once we get to 150, we are definitely going to go ahead and shift the team quite a lot. So because the anniversary ship is now expired, unfortunately, we actually have to do a little bit of stalling. I mean, at this point, we don't need to stall. We've got quite enough cooldown, so that's fine. But yeah, you do have to do a little bit of stalling depending on your team composition, of course. At this point, though, we don't really need to stall. We have all the cooldowns we could possibly need, so we can go ahead and move on to stage number 3, which is going to be Hachi, Chu, and Karubi. So these guys, once you get to level 60 and above, of course, we're below level 60 right now, but the special bind and the paralysis they inflict here is actually going to last for 3 turns, so just keep that in mind. The Garb support removes 3 turns of special bind, which is pretty clutch. So from this point, we can actually go ahead and use the Nami special here. We don't really need her at any point later on. Though, again, depending on your team comp, you can definitely abuse what she does, because she gives you a full board of tandem slots and she locks them, and that's actually kind of important when you get to the final stage, where she is able to secure those slots for you, because the enemy does have a debuff or a buff on them that makes them take less damage from certain slots, and tandem slots are a slot you can use to do more damage to the opponent. At this point as well, we can go ahead and use the Uta special. So Uta's going to go ahead and give us the attack boost and orb boost for Cerebral and Striker characters. Uta's, I consistently say this, I think Uta is legit one of the best legends in the game. I always have her in my top 5. I think she's just so incredibly powerful. Not only because her special is great, because it gets around enemy interrupts and stuff, but her captain ability is so good as well. Getting around paralysis, getting around special reverse, and there's actually quite a lot of special reverse in this content, so having the ability to resist that is pretty good. So I would suggest abusing a captain that can deal with special reverse, and luckily, you know, we've got Uta dealing with paralysis. I also believe Nami deals with paralysis as well, if I remember correctly. Yes, she does, so yeah, she's pretty good. So we have a lot of buffs here. We have attack boost, orb boost, we've got the chain boundary from Nami as well, so we can just go ahead and kill pretty comfortably here. Moving on to the next stage. Now, the way that my team is structured, it actually doesn't really deal with the stage as they want you to actually deal with it. So you see there's 2 different enemies. You have Genzo and you have Nezumi. So what they want you to do here is they want you to kill Nezumi only and leave Genzo alive. The guy with resilience, they ideally want you to keep him alive, because you see here that the enemy inflicts us with 98 turns of attack down. Now, I believe the attack down is not super significant, but the thing is that if you kill Nezumi and leave Genzo by himself, he has like a very special interrupt where he will remove the attack down that Nezumi inflicted to your side of the crew. So that's actually pretty important, and it's going to be pretty key when you get into the later levels of the PKA for sure. But with the way that my team's dealing with it, I'm using the Shanks special here, and the thing about it is I mean, we could just skip it here, because Shanks just does so much damage with his special that they just die, and we don't actually get the special interrupt from Genzo to remove the attack down. As I said, very, very rare, bare bones team here, where I'm just getting through the content with like as many of the boosters that I can to make it effective. It gets through it, and of course we're at low levels, so Arlong doesn't have really that much HP anyways. So we get paralysis and all that, so that's not really that big of a deal. But you see Arlong has that buff. He takes less damage from all type slots, but he also takes less damage from other slots, which is including G slots and bomb slots and empty slots. So it means you can abuse recovery, you can use tandem, you can use Semler, you can use Wano, rainbow orbs. All of those are the slots that you want to be using here, because if you use anything outside of that, then he just takes less damage, which is kind of a thing. There's also going to be like bind and stuff that eventually occurs, which is why Kobe's kind of here as well. But because we have attack and orb boost, we can just go ahead and use the Trafalgar Law special, which is going to give us the chain boundary and also give us the end of turn damage, because Arlong, once he gets to level 60 and above, he does give you chain attack down, and he does have resilience. Law deals with both of those things. And then finally, we're going to use the Luffy and Whitebeard special. The main reason why they're here is mainly just because of the support that can attach to them, which is the Otama, which changes the adjacent slots into recovery. So now we have some recovery slots we can actually hit the opponent with. Ideally, we should probably put them on the other side, so Nami, who will deal a lot of damage to the opponent, will actually have the recovery slot. But at the end of the day, we're early days, so it's not that big of a deal. Also, there is burn that's on our side of the field. That burn is kind of annoying, and again, you know, we're going to have to find ways to deal with that. But at least in terms of the early levels right now, that's not that big of a deal. So, you know, we get the job done. As I said, we're going to have some more effective teams a little bit later on as things progress, as we get to deeper and deeper levels. But as for now, it's fine. If you want to just farm the early levels, ideally running, you know, your highest multiplier characters to give you the most turtle drops possible. But as I said, for this time period, for this event, I want to try and get to 150 to see what the drop rate of these Hime turtles actually is, and see if it's actually effective enough to actually do that strategy, or if it's still like the way to go to just farm on your level 60, level 40, level 80, just to see if it's interesting to farm that level instead. We'll see. But that's going to wrap it up for me now. As I said, I'll have more videos for PKA coming up over the next day or two as I get higher and higher in levels. So hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.